I'm on Santa Cruz Island. It's about an hour ferry ride from Ventura, which is about an hour north of LA. I think on the docket today is mostly just hiking. Today will be the last episode of the season for this season of The Life After. And I wanted to kind of do a recap episode, or make this more or less a recap episode. So fair warning, this will be more or less a recap episode of this season, I think, about, you know, what I think I've done well at and what I think I can improve on, rather than a review of Santa Cruz Island. So those little foxes are actually native to the Channel Islands, but they're endangered, is what the ranger was telling us, park ranger. The other thing he told us is they've gotten pretty smart at taking food from hikers and campers and stuff, and they'll pretend to be hurt or limp and wait for you to throw them food. So, but as you can expect, there's a fine for feeding them intentionally or unintentionally. So if they somehow manage to steal your food away, it's still your fault. Anyways, I'm beginning my hike here. Scorpion Ridge Trail, I can't remember. But it's got a much different feel, obviously, than its sister island, Catalina Island. It's a lot greener than I thought it would be. Or a lot more green than I thought it would be. It did just rain, so maybe that helped. But once again, these hills are kicking my butt. In the same sense that Catalina is another world than mainland Los Angeles, I would say so is this place. In a totally different way. But yeah, man, it's awesome. You're out on this island. It could be, I don't know, maybe like Ireland or something. I've never been to Ireland. But it is supposed to be windy today, so hopefully this isn't getting picked up on the mic. Okay, so I think that here's as good a place as any to begin my sort of self-assessment for this year's Life After. I've definitely gotten better than when I first started making this style of travel video. Looking at the Jackson Hole up until the Australia, I think I really hit my groove in the Australia videos. That being said, I think there's some areas for improvement as well. I think I need to make a distinction. I want to talk less about doing time lapses and just take more time lapses. I watched every episode leading up to this, and I think I mentioned doing time lapses in every single one. Time lapse, time lapse, time lapse, time lapse, time lapses, time lapse. So that's something moving forward I want to sort of get away from talking about time lapses and just do them. You guys don't care. Secondly, I learned while making this show that a lot can go sort of outside of the plans that you have. This episode is a perfect example of that. There was a whole nother trip that I had planned on doing. Unfortunately, my grandmother passed away suddenly, and I had to cancel that trip. Obviously, my grandma is a priority. I need to make up something from canceling the trip earlier in the year. And so I sort of scrambled and put together like a mini series of the Channel Islands episodes. I apologize if you thought I was going to do all 7. It's only going to be these 2 as far as I can tell. So from the beginning, my original goal was to make 26 episodes this year. I think with the trailer, I'll be around like 22, 23. I'm not exactly sure. But I obviously fell short of that. Now, would I call that a failure? No. I didn't reach my goal, but I got pretty darn close. But overall, I want the show to grow. There's a few ideas I have in mind that I think I want to try out. Next year, I will be trying to make, again, 26 episodes to get me to 6 months, doing 1 a week. I think that this season was a good start, but I think there's still ways that I can improve and still ideas that I want to try out. But ultimately, yeah, I feel pretty good about this season. Was it exactly what I thought it was going to be? No. But there's always room for improvement. And another thing I realized is it's hard, man. Sometimes you just don't feel like it. I think I had the flu at some point, and I just did not want to make episodes. I don't know how these guys do it every day. I could barely do it every week for half the year. That being said, I always want to get better, always want to improve. So that will be a goal for next year and next season. And hopefully it shows. I think that about wraps up my time here on old Santa Cruz Island. Totally different experience than Catalina Island, but still comes with just as high of a recommendation from myself.